Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Perillo, and I am a smartphone user. And you are probably a smartphone user. That doesn't necessarily make us smart, but if we were smart, we would find the smartphone that would work for us. Like, the one you find for you is probably different from the one for me. And I am still not happy with anything that I've been using for the past few years. But technology is a race that never ends, and I'm always looking forward to the next thing. Hopes that something better comes along. That's the song that's in my head right now because Muppets! For the past few months, as a couple of you have been asking, from the video I recorded the other day to let you know that I was going to pre-order an iPhone 13 Pro Max this morning, which I did, and streamed that live on Twitch. I'm also streaming this video that I'm doing live on Twitch, so you should join me on Twitch if you haven't already. I talked about the phone that I had been using, but I didn't call it out by name. A couple of people asked what it was. I thought, who cares? Well, apparently you care. This is a Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Man, I like get lightheaded every time I like run through the gamut of that name. Okay, let's just call it something brief, at least for the duration of this video. I've been using it for the past few months, and it's the closest thing I can find that brings me to some level of satisfaction. Am I all in? Absolutely not. Do I think it's the best thing ever? No. Am I waiting for something better to come along? Yeah, okay. Okay, enough Rolf. Yeah, I am. I'm constantly looking. I'm constantly scanning, and I'm absolutely going to give the iPhone 13 Pro Max a fair shake. But I've got some predictions. And I also want to know, when I get it, what do you want me to compare specifically? Now, if you're going to ask me, Chris, do what everyone else does. Make it sound the same. Do the exact same thing. I'm not interested, right? Because I can tell you the difference between the two is more interesting in the software realm for me than the hardware realm. Anybody, you could go to a web page and look at the specs side by side. Anybody can do that, okay? I'm not interested. I want to talk about the software because I do believe that is where one is going to shine and the other one is going to fail. Because most people will look just at the hardware and think about the hardware, but it's not about the hardware, people. It's about how the software makes that hardware sing. So I've had issues with Samsung in the past, and with Samsung doing what it's done with Android, this is the first time I've ever used a Samsung device that I feel I could de-Samsungify. And that was critical for me to enjoy this device. And I used a utility available by way of the Samsung store on the phone through the Galaxy store, whatever the hell they're calling it, their own app store called Good Lock. Good Lock. It's free. There are different modules inside, and within it, you can effectively customize your Samsung Android experience. Not that it's horrible out of the box. It's just that Samsung kind of slaps you in the face with like, hey, we got a whole bunch of Samsung stuff that you don't need. Have it. And I don't need that. I don't want that. And so I did my best to eliminate it, setting other defaults, and going further by using Good Lock to further minimize the Samsung impact on a Samsung device. But this is where I want to begin the comparison. My prediction is that I do believe, in my experience, it's going to be very difficult for me to see iOS as a contender because I generally have not liked the direction of iOS lately. That's no secret. But my question for that iPhone, the new one, specifically the Pro models, is will ProMotion make that much of a difference? Will the optimization that Apple has done with the display and the responsiveness, will that make a difference for me with iOS? I can say, after having used the iPad for years daily, a ProMotion feature helps, but it doesn't mitigate a lot of the underpinnings, the software. So I feel that both Samsung and Apple, I know I'm going to anger people with this, but they both do the same thing. Apple throws all its stuff at you, and Samsung throws all its stuff at you. So if you say that Samsung has bloat, so does Apple. They're the same. Different companies, but they approach it in much the same way. Samsung wants you to buy into their ecosystem. They just happen to be using Android. Apple wants you to buy into their ecosystem. They're using iOS. And there's less other things that I use within Apple's ecosystem, making all those features that Apple throws in there to make it easier if you are living in Apple's ecosystem. those aren't compelling to me, and I can't turn them off. So at least with Samsung, I can use Good Lock and change defaults and minimize, if not almost completely eliminate, the Samsunginess of a Samsung device. And it's been fluid. So I want to test the fluidity between the two. And we're specifically talking about iOS 15 and the current shipping version of Android 11. They've got the beta of Android 12 on the Samsung device, but it is a little choppy. But it's currently in beta versus iOS 15, which is fully baked. Another area that I definitely want to compare is, beyond seeing which one is more fluid, is the photos. So I do plan on doing that. I want to do some tests between one camera output and the other camera output. I've not been thrilled at all. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm looking to get off of the Samsung series of phones is I don't think their cameras are all that. They're fine, but honestly, it's, as far as Android goes, it's the Pixel and everything else. And even as far as my eye is concerned, it's not even it's to me, there's no comparison between a Pixel phone and an iPhone. At the last time I looked, the Pixel just stomps, and I expect that to get better with the Pixel 6 Pro, which I also do have on my radar as a potential replacement for the Samsung S21 Ultra Premium Pro Plus model, whatever the hell this is. So I want to do photo output, definitely going to do that. But I believe that the iPhone is going to do photos and photo output better than the Galaxy has done, because I wasn't that impressed with the Galaxy phone. Again, I got to try it. These are just predictions. This is how I think it's going to play out. I'm also going to test or I want to try the digital assistants, because I think Siri is still half-baked, and I know Google Assistant, because I don't use Bixby on this thing. I don't know anybody who does. Google Assistant is awesome. It flies. It does everything you need it to do, and in fact, if you've only lived in a world of Siri, you have no idea what you're missing out on. Like, I know what I'm not missing, okay? So I'm going to give Siri a fair shake and do the same kind of things that I do on the S21 Ultra, but I do believe that that's where Google Assistant is absolutely going to kick butt and take names. The next thing that I kind of want to compare or look between the emoji. I know that sounds silly, but I like emoji. I think Apple does emoji very well. I think Samsung's design ethos is not as great as it possibly could be. Another thing that I think is going to be a big point of contention between the two devices, notifications. iOS notifications are a mess. Android notifications are very refined, and the Samsung Galaxy Note... No, I said Note. Can you believe I said Note? The S21 notifications have been great. They're Android notifications. Android 11, they're perfect. So I expect that the Samsung device is going to kick butt and take names with notifications as well. And then, of course, is the notch going to be an issue? I think it is. The notch is an abomination. It shouldn't still exist, and it does. It didn't need to be there. So would I prefer a hole punch over a notch? I can tell you, at a distance, absolutely. But will that actually hold true? We're going to find out. My prediction is it's going to be a win for the hole punch. Biometrics. Face ID exists. It's fine, but I still wear a mask in public. And so when I need to unlock my device, since there's no Touch ID now integrated on an iPhone for reasons that are completely unknown, because they still produce the technology and put it in new devices, that may be a frustration. It probably will be a frustration versus, using my thumb. Even I don't wear gloves all that often, so it's not that much of an issue. So I think that the Galaxy is going to win over with the biometric unlocking. But iOS in general is not my cup of tea. I'm still going to give it a shot. My belief going into this is that I feel that an overarching experience with the software taking point and the hardware fading into the background, I do believe, based upon my previous experience with iOS, which hasn't changed that much, on previous iOS devices, that I'm going to be happier with the S21 Ultra. I could be wrong. I'm willing to say that I'm going to be wrong if I'm wrong. But you know what? I'm going to be a straight shooter, because I'm not fighting for access. I don't care who likes or dislikes what it is that I say, because I'm only sharing with you my experiences, my perspectives. I'm just being brutally honest. And you know what? There's no rule that says you have to like me. I don't care. I'm still going to be me, and if you're still listening, well, just understand that I like you too.